your house. We'll talk a little wrestling when I'm in your house. In your house. In your house. I said I'm in your house. The one I'm in your house. In your house. In your house. Hey, yo, we talk a little wrestling when I'm in your house. In your house. In your house. Yo, me, yo. California dreaming, make me stay scheming like Bobby the Brain Heenan. I'm out here, I got big steppers on my team, and the swagger leave them leaning. And if it ain't business, love, what's the meaning? I'm dangerous like Paulie when I'm coming to the function. Hard like Jimmy, I bring the doom to your dungeon. MVP, you get this hurt and this business. Hit this work, I'm the director, you should listen.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to In Your House, starring Hollywood House. This is the People's Podcast. Haha. Hey guys, you already know who it is. It's your boy, Con, ready to get at work. When it comes to this professional wrestling business, that is what we do. And hey, we love it. So let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's alright. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. And it's time to look at the clock. I'm checking the time because the last time that I checked, In Your House was the hottest professional wrestling podcast in the Midwest, because we hit them with that work. Round the clock. You guys already know what it is. And you guys already know who I am, and that is the director, Hollywood House, ready to do another jam-packed and exciting episode of the podcast that you love to love, and that is In Your House. And yo, it's time to talk a little wrestling with a hip-hop feel, hitting you with those LA vibes. I'm back, I'm gonna give it to you, daddy, I'm gonna give it to you in your house. And that is the 5-star professional wrestling podcast built from the ground up, and that is In Your House. And guys, this is a big week, huge week if you're a professional wrestling fan. And hey, if you're listening to this podcast, you got to be a professional wrestling fan, right? I mean, that's kind of why you're here, right, y'all? Are we in agreement? Okay, good. All right, so it would not be an episode of In Your House if I didn't bring in my co-host. He is the curator of content, and when he's not here curating content, he's curating a hell of a lot of chaos, and that is the marvelous Mr. Bell. How's it going this week, bro?
Hello, my director. Hello. I am so happy to be here this week. It is a huge week wrestling-wise, and like you said, if you are not a wrestling fan, what the hell are you listening to this for?
Right, why are you here?
I'll take that back. Keep listening so you become more of a wrestling fan.
That's
because
it.
This is what we're doing here, right?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I can tell you're excited, Bell. I'm obviously excited. This is a huge week for wrestling. It is a huge week for wrestling fans. It is like wrestling Christmas out here. And that's for all tiers of professional wrestling. It's not, and let me just throw this out there real quick, y'all. I just want to let y'all guys know. We're going to be solely talking, what we're giving you is the In Your House Wrestlemania quick shot. And we're going to shoot through these great matches that we got coming up this weekend. And we got a quick shot at y'all because me and Bell, we're in the midst of WrestleMania weekend. We are actively doing things to contribute to professional wrestling going into this weekend. So time constraints, we've been busy, but we understood that we had to give you guys out a big episode. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a little quick, we're going to go ahead and put the gun to the heads real quick, put the gun to my head, put the gun to my man Bell's head, and we're going to just be like, hey, put a gun to your head, who you got winning and why, real quick, just like that. That is why this is the In Your House WrestleMania quick shot. But I have to acknowledge this huge weekend very quick because it's a huge weekend for many reasons. A lot of independent shows going on this weekend. I mean, they've already started, Bell. Some of them already started. We've seen a lot of great things already as we move into WrestleMania. And this is what WrestleMania week has become now, Bell. It's become more than just WWE. It's become more than just NXT and doing their thing, whatever major city it is. What happens is we have a lot of indies go to whatever city that WrestleMania is in, and it's just like a huge festival. So it's more than just WWE WrestleMania. It's Mania week for all of wrestling fans, Bell.
Yo, Con, you hit it on the head when you said this is like wrestling Christmas, right?
Yeah.
This is a whole week of wrestling Christmas. We've had everything from Monday Night Raw this week, which was absolutely a good show.
I enjoyed it.
We saw some AEW. We got ROH wrestling this weekend with a big thing. We have all sorts of indie wrestling, and we're in the midst of all of this. Talk about chaos. I didn't even curate this.
I know, it's crazy how it's all worked out, and there's a lot that we want to talk about and acknowledge. So definitely you want to check out me and Bell's next episode, which is going to be next week, where we give our full length explanations for everything that we saw, everything that we took in throughout the entire weekend. There's going to be a lot to unpack, but this week we're just hitting y'all with a little quick shot, giving y'all what we think could happen, and then we'll talk about it next week. But once again, we're going to get that started, and once we get started, y'all, we're moving. I just want y'all to know that. But I want to acknowledge the retirement of Triple H. We're going to talk about that more in depth next week. The Hall of Fame ceremony that is going to be circled around The Undertaker. Of course, we have other great entrants there, such as the Steiner brothers. We're going to talk more about that. We got a lot to talk about. So I just want to acknowledge those things and acknowledge the magnitude of the weekend, because it's a huge weekend. But because, once again, I just want to let you guys in the household know, because me and Bell are in the midst of dealing with everything that comes with this crazy weekend. That's why this episode is going to be quick, right, Bell?
Exactly. We're giving it to you. Like my man Khan says, we're going to give you that work, baby. We're going to give you that work, and we're going to give it to you Ricky Bobby style. So, yo, let's hit it, yo.
All right, so we're going to jump right into this, and tomorrow afternoon, when you guys listen to this, it is going to be Friday. So actually, the Hall of Fame will possibly be playing while you guys are listening to this. But we're talking about tomorrow afternoon, and that's NXT Stand and Deliver. They got a really big show. We're about to put this in the shotgun now, take the shot, and here we go. The first match that I want to ask you about, and then I'll give my opinion, Tommaso Ciampa versus Tony D'Angelo.
Ooh, that's going to be a banger, I think, man.
Yeah.
I low-key think that this is Tony D'Angelo's time. I know that they've had this feud going on, this feud is kind of new. I like the things that they're doing with Tony D'Angelo. I like the feud that he had with Peter Dune, the formerly known as Peter Dune. Putting him with Ciampa is just an absolute great thing. I would like to see D'Angelo come out of this, but man, Ciampa's tough.
Yeah. For me, I'm thinking, and I've recently been watching NXT. I really like Tony D'Angelo and what they're doing with him. This is the very last match in NXT for Tommaso Ciampa, but I don't think him losing is going to hurt him in any way as he moves up to the main roster. I'm saying that it would be great for Tony D'Angelo to get the win, and that's who I'm saying will get the win, and that's Tony D'Angelo. As we move right in to the NXT North American Championship ladder match, that involves Carmelo Hayes, Santos Escobar, Grayson Waller, Solo Sikoa, former In Your House guest Solo Sikoa, and Cameron Grimes, in a ladder match for the NXT North American Champion. Who do you got?
I'm rocking with In Your House's own Solo Sikoa.
Oh man, how could it's tough to go against, right?
It's absolutely tough to go against. But as I look at this and I analyze everybody that's on the card, Carmelo Hayes an outstanding wrestler.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I really think that we're going to see a surprise maybe later on or later next week with Carmelo Hayes. I feel like he's on his way to be called up because he's the truth, right? So with that said, I think it might be Sikoa's time to shine.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that, not just because he is a former In Your House guest, but because the way they've been building him. No, we don't. But because of how they've been building him, I could definitely see him picking up the North American Championship and carrying that championship with a whole lot of prestige. Moving on next here to the NXT Women's Championship match that involves Mandy Rose, Cora Jade, the Genius of the Sky, Io Shirai, and Kaylee Ray. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go with Kaylee Ray on this one.
Kaylee Ray, she was one of the longest, I think the longest reigning UK Women's Champion.
Yes, she was. I want to say it was like 700 days.
Oh yeah, it was.
No one. It was pretty long.
It was very long.
Maybe wrong on that one, but
it was very long. But for me, I don't see Mandy Rose retaining. I am seeing how they're kind of pushing this Cora Jade character here, and you know what I like about her is that they're pushing her as a lifelong WWE fan, a lifelong wrestling fan, in some of the videos packages that they've played of her, and it's true. So they're playing towards her real life, and I just think that for her to pick up that win on such an important show like Stand and Deliver would really cement her and who she is as far as being a lifelong fan, and then you can move on what you can do next with Cora Jade. So I would say Cora Jade, and now on to the main event, and this here is it's going to be a good match, I believe, and this is the last match we're going to talk about before we move on to WrestleMania. That's right, folks, WrestleMania coming up. And that is the NXT Championship match. Dolph Ziggler, DZ, going up against Braun Breaker. Who do you got?
Ooh, this is actually tough. Honestly, like on paper, you would think that like you would just be like, oh, Braun Breaker's going to win. He's huge, right? But like Dolph Ziggler, he's the NXT champion. He's been the NXT champion for about a month now, right?
Yeah, yep. About that
holding
time.
holding that title, working both shows. I think he retains.
You're thinking he retains? All right. On that note, I would have to say that because of situations, in my view, when I look at things from the landscape of professional wrestling, I just can't see him not getting that NXT championship on a weekend where his father's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. It would be a great story for their family, for them to get inducted into the Hall of Fame the night before his son regains his second title win for the NXT championship. So that will be my pick there, and I think it is going to be a great match, and that's Braun Breaker. As now we're going to go ahead. This is the WrestleMania quick shot, y'all, so I hope you guys are paying attention. Stay with us, keep up. And it's going to be a great WrestleMania starting on Saturday night. This is WrestleMania 38 in Dallas, Texas, folks. And
one.
Man, it's big. I think Vince is calling it the most stupendous WrestleMania.
He talked to me at first, right? Because at first he was calling it marvelous, and then I had to say, "Hey, Vince, you can't be biting my gimmick, right?" Like, so then he was like, "You know what? I got you, Curator Bell. We will call this stupendous."
Man, did you hit him with a cease and desist?
I did not have to do that because Vince knew. Vince knew my pool. Vince knew where I was coming from. He already knew. He didn't want that smoke.
Nah. You know, Vince wanted a lot of smoke, but he don't want that smoke. So,
yeah.
Man, this episode is smoking right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking to you guys out there in the household. We are going super, super quick on this one, so keep up. And hopefully you guys play along because we're having a lot of fun doing this quick shot here for WrestleMania 38. And the first match that I want to talk about is Charlotte Flair going up against Ronda Rousey for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. What do you think?
Ooh. I feel like this will be the main event of night one, and man, this is Ronda Rousey's crowning achievement. She's gonna go in there, she's gonna demolish Charlotte Flair, she's gonna make her tap out, and then she's going to continue her dominance that she left a couple years ago.
I gotta agree with you on that one, man. I definitely see Ronda Rousey coming out of this one with the championship on her shoulder, around her waist, whatever she sees fit. I think that Ronda Rousey is gonna come, and I think she's gonna stay for a little bit. I think she'll stick around for a couple months and maybe tell a few stories, and then eventually drop the title and be gone again because she really is enjoying, the family situation that she has. So, like, I just can't see her doing this year round,
Absolutely, absolutely. But I do feel like there is some things that are undone that she needs to do within the world of wrestling.
For sure.
To come. So holding that championship and then going on to face, have some good matches with the likes of Asuka,
Yep.
Sasha Banks,
Yep.
Bailey, possibly returning Bailey.
Yeah.
All these things. I'm really looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
And to see the dynamic of possible the champion Ronda Rousey and possible champion Becky Lynch if she's able to retain from that match.
Absolutely. There's a lot of possibilities. There's still a lot of meat left on that bone when it comes to Ronda Rousey and her career. Moving right along to somebody who I've been thoroughly entertained by recently, and that is Seth freaking Rollins, as he has now gained his entry into WrestleMania, but he doesn't know who his opponent is. Bell, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Who's his opponent and who's winning? Who's winning the match?
His opponent is it's John Cena.
Ho! Go! Break it down a little bit.
Break it down. Okay, yeah. Look, I know you all are out there saying it's Cody. You guys are pandering and one day I hear all the chants, but WWE, they see and they hear that.
Oh, yeah.
They know how to make money. They know how to create controversy. This is where the curator got some of his tips.
Sure.
I think they fed into this Cody thing, and I think they are pulling the wool over all of our eyes. And I really think that it's going to be an absolute surprise whoever faces Seth Rollins. I do think good possibility could be John Cena or somebody like the likes of maybe a returning Elias. Cody is a possibility, but I don't think that's done. I don't think that's a done deal. Honestly, what we were saying before when all that stuff started? I think it's still a work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We don't know which direction it's going in. So no. I'm going to have to really agree. Well, before I go to my pick, who do you see winning the match, whoever it is?
I see Seth Rollins coming out of whoever he faces because he's Seth freaking Rollins.
Yep. I agree that whoever it is, it's going to be Seth Rollins. And there's a lot I agree with you on as far as why you picked your pick. But the reason why I picked my pick is for similar reasons, because I don't think we're going to see Cody that night. I think we still might see Cody next week, but not that particular night. I think they hold off till Monday if it happens. Yep. And I think what they do is they really bring some full circle trolling to WrestleMania, and we think it's going to be Cody, and it ends up being Shane McMahon.
Oh man, I see it. You've been listening to the internet, WWE was pulling their own little works and stuff too with the whole Shane McMahon news and rumors back from the Royal Rumble. So maybe that's the thing. Maybe they're doing some long-term storytelling.
Maybe, who knows? I'd be shocked. Because WWE has been bad about that in recent years, and I would love to see that turn around, and that's definitely something we'll talk more about in the future. But we got to move right along here to the Tag Team Championship match, and that's the New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston going up against Sheamus and Ridge Holland with Butch. Who do you got winning?
Yep. You cannot bet against the New Day, especially with their brother Big E recovering from that massive neck injury. Shout out to Big E and
no doubt.
Hope for a speedy recovery. We want him back. We want him back in ring, entertaining us. Thank you.
Yes, I've got it's New Day. It's New Day, bro. It just feels like New Day to me. I don't see the reason to switch the titles right now. It's New Day. That's all I'm going to say about that as we move on to the other tag team match. And I just want to go back and correct myself. Just is in a quick shot, guys. Just like I said, that match I mentioned with the New Day and Ridge Holland and Sheamus, regular tag team match, no titles on the line, neither one of them a champion. But this next one is a championship match where the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, go up against Shinsuke Nakamura and Boogs for the titles. Who do you got?
Ooh, I think it's time for Shinsuke and Boogs to be newly crowned tag team champions. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling that some things in the bloodline are not going to go very well for during WrestleMania, and I think the Usos take the hit on this one.
I can definitely see that, but I just have this vision in my head, man. And this vision involves the Usos retaining their WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships as they show up to night 2 of WrestleMania. And we'll talk a little bit more about that vision later on when we get to night 2. But we got to move on to Drew McIntyre going up against Happy Corbin. Who do you got?
Oh, man. Not betting against Drew McIntyre.
Same.
But I think it's Drew's time. This match was made for Drew to basically go out there and, put that sword into Happy Corbin and make him a little sad. So,
yep, he's going to stand tall in this one, I believe, as well. Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, and Dominic Mysterio going up against The Miz and Logan Paul. Who do you got?
Ooh, so it's hard to bet against Rey Mysterio, but I'm going to, and I'm going to take The Miz because he's awesome, and his partner Logan Paul because look at them. They're great. They're going to do something spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
They're already doing so many things to get under the Mysterio skin.
Oh, yeah.
And personally, I don't think that this is a one-off.
It might not be a one-off, and I really do like the Miz and Logan Paul together. But once again, just like a couple of matches ago with the Usos and Shinsuke and Boogs, I got a vision, and that vision involves Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio defeating Miz and Logan Paul, and after the match, Rey Mysterio presents Dominic with the mask, dubbing him worthy of getting the mask.
Ooh, wow! I like the way I like this. I like the way your head is going. I love where your head is going. But the reason I picked the pick that I picked is because I also think that something is going to happen between the Mysterios, and it might be time for that little split. I think we're seeing too much of a Dominic babyface. I think that that they lose the match, he turns on his father, and then we go from there into a father-son feud.
Shoot, they can carry that all the way to SummerSlam.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be that's a banger idea too. So that's guys. This is why you guys listen, because we didn't agree on the finish, but we put y'all together some banger stories just in a quick shot, just that quick. So this is why you guys listen and you really love to hear it. And I'm gonna love to see this one, and so is my daughter, because she's a huge Bianca Belair fan, and she's gonna be facing Becky Lynch for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Belle, who do you got?
Look at Miss Bianca Belair, 2 years in a row main eventing WrestleMania in some sort, because they're all main events, basically.
Oh yeah.
And she's going to become champion 2 WrestleManias in a row as she beats Becky Lynch. I can't wait.
This match, Belle, is so special to me because my daughter is a huge Bianca Belair fan. Every single time me and my son turn on WWE 2K22, which is a lot lately because that game's a fucking banger, and where she's like, be Bianca Belair, be Bianca Belair, be Bianca. She's just such a huge fan. So it's special to me because this is potential for my daughter to experience and remember her first WrestleMania moment, where her favorite wrestler is at WrestleMania hoisting the title over her head, and that's something that she could hold for the rest of her life. You know what I'm saying? We all got those moments, and it would be great to create that for her. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And that's what we want to see. That's what we need. We need that black girl magic that Bianca Belair possesses, and so great. And I really hope that your daughter is able to just have the biggest smile on her face when she sees Bianca Belair become the new Raw Women's Champion.
Absolutely. That is going to be a great match. And man, just talking about night one, Bell, talking about NXT Stand and Deliver, it's just great. And I'm already excited, but we still got night two to talk about. But we really quickly, we always have to do it. We got to pay some bills. And when we come back, Bell, you already know what the vibe is, bro. When we come back, we're talking night two of WrestleMania 38. Hey guys, it's your boy, the Director, Howse of In Your House, and I'm here to let you know about a small business that produces beard products and also supports small stage, independent, professional wrestling stars. It's called Ring Master Beard Company. Try one of their several scents, beard oils, balms, or mustache wax, and keep your beard looking and feeling sweet. Purchase your favorite wrestlers or personalities' personalized scent, and they receive a portion of each sale. And with that being said, don't forget to pick up a bottle of the Director in Alakan House Special. Your boy, a blend of eucalyptus, mint, and tea tree oil. Have your beard feeling fresh, have your beard feeling smooth, just like your boy, the Director. Follow Ringmaster Beard Company on Twitter and Instagram at Ringmaster Beard, or on their Facebook page, and that is Ringmaster Beard Company. Check it out. Get your beard cream. Hit your beard with that. Because sometimes being a master in the ring means mastering your beard.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is the marvelous Mr. Bell. I am the curator of content here at In Your House. But today I'm the curator of contests, and do I have a special WrestleMania contest for you? Check it out. Would you like to win the newest Hollywood House Productions t-shirt? Of course you would. All I need you to do is to post the phrase Blue Thunder Bomb and tag In Your House, Hollywood House, and the marvelous Mr. Bell for your chance to be entered into a drawing to win your very own brand new Hollywood House Productions The Set t-shirt. Yo, curator out. You better win.
Welcome back to In Your House, and of course I am your director, Hollywood House, sitting in with the curator of content, the marvelous Mr. Bell, as we are talking about WrestleMania 38, huge weekend for every wrestling fan around the world on any level. If you love wrestling, if you love independent wrestling, if you love WWE, no matter what, there's something for everybody this weekend on all tiers of professional wrestling. So, of course, I got to do my due diligence real quick and ask you guys to continue to make us a 5-star podcast, because you guys have already done that. I mean, you guys have already really helped us out and made us an international podcast, and it's very much appreciated. But, of course, we can continue to use your help by you telling people, sharing, just letting people know what we do, what we talk about, as not only do we talk about the current television product in professional wrestling, we talk about the indies, and we also talk about the individual journeys of myself and Bell as we curate our way through this professional wrestling business. And it's been a lot of fun, and it's been a completely great journey. And if you guys can help us out and help us grow bigger, that is absolutely going to help us. But this is a quick shot. So we got to keep going here, ladies and gentlemen, as we are on night 2, Bell, of WrestleMania 38, and we're just gonna jump right on into it, bro, as we have Queen Zelina and Carmella going up against Sasha Banks and Naomi, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, and Natalya and Shayna Baszler. And man, this one is for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Who do you got?
Ooh, man. I cannot wait to see the thrown together tag team of Sasha Banks and Naomi to win this match because it was made for them. It is pretty much laid out on a silver platter. And who bets against Sasha Banks? The curator doesn't.
No, and I'm not going to either, man. I'm not. I really do think that this is going to be a big WrestleMania moment for Sasha Banks and Naomi. And really, for me, kudos to Sasha Banks, who's used to being in the main event. She's used to being the one that everybody's talking about. But for her to shift this role, as she should be, of course. But for her to shift in this role into a tag team championship, WrestleMania situation, and of course she's been a women's tag team champion before with the likes of Bayley, but like to see her take this role going into WrestleMania, you love to see it. I love to see her willingness to just contribute to the show, even though I do see Sasha as a major player, but I definitely see her and Naomi coming out of this with the titles as we move on to our next match here, and this one is going to be interesting, and that's Johnny Knoxville going up against Sami Zayn in the Anything Goes match. Who do you got?
Oh man, I cannot wait to see the punishment that Johnny Knoxville puts his body through in this match, and that Sami Zayn helped Johnny Knoxville put his body through this match. Somehow, I feel like Johnny Knoxville is going to squeak out a victory. Maybe he'll, steal a blue thunder bomb or something like that, or I don't know. It's hard for me not to see Johnny Knoxville coming out of this.
Yeah, same here. And that's why I'm going to say that Johnny Knoxville is going to come out of this, because I think that it would be good publicity for him coming out of this. And honestly, Sami Zayn's not going to be hurt by losing this match. If anything, Sami Zayn is going to stretch it and get even more heat out of it, because Sami Zayn is one of those special wrestlers that doesn't mind laughing at himself. He doesn't take himself too seriously. And because of that, he's going to stretch this thing out and make it huge.
Exactly. Honestly, who would have thought that Sami Zayn would have been fighting Johnny Knoxville in the first place? And the fact that he's actually made this a really mage feud even without Johnny Knoxville appearing on a continuous basis on SmackDown. Sami Zayn has made this. I know that he had a quick Intercontinental title run, but I think he comes out of this going into a major feud after this, because this will be really good for Sami Zayn as a whole. Just shout out to Sami Zayn, and shout out to his heel work and all the work that he's doing right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm really enjoying his work. Him, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. These are all situations where these guys are telling such fantastic stories, even without their dance. Hell, the thing with Seth Rollins is he's done this without a dance partner. It's been him versus WrestleMania. So it's just great to see, and a testament to the entertainment quality these guys have attained, even though these guys are wrestlers. I mean, when you're considered a Ring of Honor original, you got to be a great wrestler, but these guys have become great. Here's that phrase again. Sports entertainers.
Sports entertainers. Because they're entertaining.
Exactly. And I couldn't agree. And this next match is going to be entertaining as well. And it's going to be another former In Your House guest, Austin Theory, as he goes up against Pat McAfee in a singles match. Who do you got coming out of this one, man?
Oh, yeah. This is actually one of the matches that I'm looking the most forward to, just because of my love for Pat McAfee. I just think he's amazing. Yeah. I'm trying to follow his roadmap that he's let out for podcasters like us, just entertainers like us, people that show and love wrestling, and he purely does, but he's not winning this match.
No, I don't think so either, and there's no reason for him. And there's no reason for him to win a match, honestly. I kind of had a feeling that's where you were going, and that's something I agree with. I think the match is going to be good, because I think Pat McAfee has the capability of putting on a good match, but this is to help Austin Theory. Putting Austin Theory against somebody like a Pat McAfee. Is Austin Theory a great wrestler? Oh yeah, I can attest to that. I've seen him at Evolve myself with my own two eyes. the guy's a great competitor, but can he entertain you? Can he tell you a story? Can he make you care? I think this is where we really start to see a shift for Austin Theory and what he's going to do. It's going to be very interesting to see what Austin Theory's career holds coming out of this year's WrestleMania after, as we both stated, he gains the pinfall victory over Pat McAfee, which is going to lead us to our next match, which is a triple threat
I would
tag
like to
team match.
add.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I would like to add, I do think that Mr. Theory will have some help. And if we want to play spoiler and things like that, look, I think an evil Michael Cole is coming back.
Oh, no.
I think evil Michael Cole is coming back, and I think he's going to be here to stay. So be prepared for that. And if I'm right, just remember that I'm Curator Damas.
Hey, that's going to be something interesting to see. See, so much good elements going into this WrestleMania that you can really sink your teeth into, and we're going to sink our teeth into that triple threat tag team match for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship, where RK Bro, Randy Orton, and Riddle are going up against the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, and the Alpha Academy, Chad Gable and Otis. Who do you got coming out of this one?
Ooh, I want the smoke. I want the smoke. I want the smoke. And you know who smokes? RK Bro does. Retains.
Hey, that's a good one, man. And I agree with you. And the reason why I agree with you is because they've really let this RK Bro story breathe a lot. I still believe that at some point, that RK Bro is going to split, and we're going to see evil Randy Orton come back at some point, and they're really letting that breathe.
They are letting that breathe, but man, I don't think evil Randy Orton's coming back. I think the swerve is that eventually we'll get an evil Matt Riddle, because
Evil
how
Riddle?
mage would that be? Evil Riddle.
Oh, is he gonna? So does this evil Riddle wear boots, or does he still wrestle shoeless? Like, is it like? Different
That's
universe.
interesting.
Different
Ooh.
universe Riddle.
Oh, maybe he wears a suit and tie.
Oh, that'd be weird.
Oh man.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I can handle other universe Riddle.
Ooh, I think I want to see it.
Oh,
I
no.
I want to see the chaos this causes.
Oh, geez, they would really mess a lot of people's brains up because of how he normally is. But
What if he's just straight laced Riddle? Straight laced.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that. But we're still moving right along here. So we got Edge and AJ Styles, a match that I definitely want to see. Who do you got? Edge, AJ Styles.
Edge, AJ Styles. This is my most anticipated match of the entire weekend, because I just think both of them are the absolute truth. But I don't want to see this only go one match.
Me neither.
But if it's gonna only go one match, man, I think that AJ Styles finds a way to squeak out a win over Edge.
I say AJ Styles. And I think that this is going to be a match for the ages. I think they're going to leave it all out there. I made a comparison, I believe, last week when I compared it to Austin and Bret Hart at Mania 13, and I stand by that. This is going to be a banger that involves AJ Styles winning the match, because AJ Styles will benefit from getting a WrestleMania victory, where Edge he's a made man, straight up. Not to say that AJ isn't a made man, but he's still very much active. So I think him getting a big victory, and then it's going to be interesting to see where AJ goes from there, and if Edge stays involved in active storylines after Mania weekend, after post-Mania. It's going to be interesting. But
that is interesting.
Next
I
up
didn't even
here,
think about that part.
Oh, yeah. Bobby Lashley up against the Giant Omos. Who do you got in that one?
Ooh, and I know we're not talking about RK Bro anymore, but did this match come out of nowhere, or did it come out of nowhere?
It came out of nowhere, man.
Oh my Lord. First, shout out to Bobby Lashley, because he is a super freak, Rick James style, because
Man.
I don't know how he recovered so quick, but Jesus, I want whatever juice he's drinking.
For real. Oh my goodness. For him to come back that quick, and he He looks great.
Yeah, he does look great. He does look great. And he's going to look great against this dominant figure, Omos. Omos, who is undefeated, who is basically even unfettered, but he will have a true challenge in Bobby Lashley. And I think that Omos will find a way to win this, but it is going to be his toughest match yet.
Man, I know that we've had different opinions on a few matches, but it seems like mostly on this night I find myself agreeing with you a lot here, because I do see Omos winning. I don't think that it really hurts Bobby Lashley to take the loss, especially coming off an injury, especially if they sell it in that way too. Like if they do that in that way. Omos, they're building Omos. Omos is still very much protected. I think he's still very much an unfinished product that they're trying to put out there, and which is why I don't think that it benefits him at all to lose this match. I think if you want to keep building Omos in the way that you want to build him, he's got to beat another juggernaut like Bobby Lashley, which is why I see Omos coming out of this one with the win. And with that being said, Bell, I just mentioned juggernauts, and this main event involves the two. Oh, yeah. It involves the two absolute juggernauts of the WWE, and that is a winner-takes-all match to unify the WWE and WWE Universal Championship. So that's right, guys. The heavyweight and the Universal Championship both on the line as Brock Lesnar, WWE Champion, faces Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman for the Universal Championship and the WWE Championship. Who do you got?
Man, is it the Bloodline? Is it crazy Brock Lesnar? Is it? I don't know. I'm so confused on this match. I'm so confused because I don't know who to root for it. But you know what? Not gonna bet it against the Tribal Chief. Oh. He will retain. He will unify that title, and he will continue to show each and every one of these plebes out there why they should all acknowledge him, and why he has been so dominant for the last decade and will continue to be dominant for the next decade.
I agree with that. I mean, these two guys have been facing off against each other for what it seems like years and years, and this one is the most different one of all the times that they've faced each other. It's true what they say. I know it's a tagline. I know they're calling it God mode, greatness on a different level, but I think that we can all acknowledge that Roman Reigns has been operating on God mode, has been great on a different level since he came back and turned heel and aligned himself with Paul Heyman. And ever since he came back, he's been the WWE Universal Champion. Ever since that man came back, he has been champion, and I just don't see that ending. Bell, I talked earlier in this episode about a vision, and I have that vision, and that vision involves Roman Reigns and the Usos with Paul Heyman in the ring, hoisting their titles in the air as the fireworks goes off and the confetti and what have you, and the WrestleMania goes off the air with the Bloodline standing tall. And it is just going to be the next step for what we see in the next chapter, because that's usually how I see it. After WrestleMania is over, it feels like it's a next chapter, a new chapter of WWE. And I think that we're going to see the next chapter with the Samoans, the Bloodline on top.
Ooh, I like where your head is. I like I love what you're seeing. The only thing that would make that better is that the end cap of that night with the Bloodline raising their titles high would be that if when they did that, all of a sudden you heard this, dun-dun, if you smell.
Oh, God, yes. God, yes.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe I'm just over here fantasy booking. But I would love to see that. I think this is the natural progression to whatever that next story you were talking about is. So, I do smell the winds of change, but I don't think it's going to change for Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
He's going to keep his WWE championship, or he's going to keep his WWE Universal Championship and gain that WWE championship, go on, dominate.
So a couple of things, because we still have to talk about one quick thing. We really got to graze over that one because of time constraints.
Oh yeah, you got something special for them, right?
Oh yeah. We definitely got some special stuff coming up. But the thing is, I was just telling my wife that it would be great that even if it was WrestleMania, that'd be great. But even if it was the Raw or even SmackDown after WrestleMania, I feel like The Rock should come out and do what he did with John Cena years ago and just say, hey, you're the head of the table. You're the tribal chief. You know, I consider myself to be a chief in our family as well. So I'm going to do what I did with John a few years ago, and I'm going to set the match out. If you can keep the championship all the way up until WrestleMania, when it's in Hollywood, you'll be facing me. And that just already set up Rock and Roman a year in advance, just like you did Rock and Cena, and I'm absolutely here for that.
Oh, I love it. And to see that, just the thought of seeing Roman, go through an entire year, knowing what his challenge would at the end would be.
Yeah.
Watching him run through that dynamic, I would love to see. I hope that that's where they're heading, but that long-term booking stuff doesn't generally happen in WWE, so let's not get our hopes up.
It's true. But hey, it's fun to talk about it. And one last thing we got to talk about that we didn't get a chance to talk about, we got to skitter through it real quick. And I mentioned his name earlier, Kevin Owens, Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is not an official match. This is a KO show, the most stupendous KO show. What do you see coming out of it real quick?
KO's going to come out. He is going to trash that ugly state of Texas and all of its miscreants that dwell inside there. Whatever. He's going to trash them, and then you're going to hear that glass break to end night one of WrestleMania. You're going to hear that Stone Cold is going to make a beeline out to that ring. He's going to look Kevin Owens straight in the eye, give him a quick kick to the gut, stunner. Oh, hell yeah.
Send everybody home happy with the stunner on Kevin Owens, who's been talking mad shit about Texas. Perfect way to send him home happy on night one. I agree with that. I think that Kevin Owens is going to be left laying in the center of the ring, and hey, that's the end of that, and that's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Yes, man. And hey, before we slide out of here, man, you got a couple of podcast appearances coming up. You're really pushing yourself with Just the Household. We love to hear it. We love to see it. What do you got coming up through the pipeline before we go ahead and cut out of here?
Yo, I'm trying. I'm always putting in that work. This is the household like almost code of ethic, right? Put in that work.
Yeah.
So this weekend I will be appearing on the Shooting with Shane podcast. It is available on YouTube as well as Spotify. So look out for that. Be sure to check all my socials. It's at Curator Bell. Super easy, streamlined for you, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And you can always find me weekly on the Kokomo Press podcast. We just want to make you laugh. We want to introduce you to some great artists that are coming up in the world, and that's what we're doing. So
absolutely, man. Definitely check out what Bell's got going on. And I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of In Your House. It was the WrestleMania Quick Shot. Bell, happy WrestleMania week to you, man.
Happy WrestleMania week to you as well, sir.
And that was another great episode of In Your House. That was our In Your House WrestleMania Quick Shot. And guys, you already know where you can follow your director. It is at The Hollywood House on Instagram, at Hollywood House on Twitter and Facebook, and at In Your House on all those social media platforms. And remember, that's HOWSC, and the W stands for work. So let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's alright. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. Hey, check out next week's episode. We talk about all the fallout from WrestleMania. And remember, use the code phrase Blue Thunder Bomb to win yourself a set shirt. That's the Household Production set shirt. And guys, you already know the vibe. Hop on this bandwagon. Get on. Or get gone. Because the household, well, we still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Oh, and happy WrestleMania week to all the fans out there. Peace.